On the other hand, Devil's stepsisters were still planning their plan. The day of the presentation came. Cinderella and Enrique got an A. Their effort brought success. That day, in the evening, Cinderella was shopping supplies while the twins were still discussing what to do. Guadalupe couldn't stand the idea that Enrique and Cinderella were hanging out a lot lately. We need to put an end to their relationship now. They can't be together, she shouted desperately. I know. What can we do then? Anna said, thinking about any ideas. Wait. Let's go to her room and see if we could find something to ring her, replied Guadalupe happily and with an evil smile. So they went to the attic and inspected Cinderella's room, but they thought that their plan was going to fail because they couldn't find anything useful or interesting. Just when they were about to leave, they found the dress Cinderella was working on and had complete. Just then, they thought of an idea, something that would stop Cinderella from going to the prom. Anna went to a little table in the attic and grabbed a pair of scissors that were resting on top. Together, Anna and Guadalupe cut the dress up. They ripped and tore it until it barely resembled a piece of clothing. They put the dress back in the wardrobe and left the attic. All Cinderella's effort had gone to waste.
The next morning, Anna and Guadalupe were getting ready for the prom. Florinda made appointments so that they could have their hair, makeup, and nails done. All three of them left very early in the morning. Cinderella got up, pleased that she would have the house all to herself for the entire day. She decided to call Maria so that they could get ready together. Exactly 1 hour later, Cinderella was answering the front door and letting her best friend in. Maria was standing on the front steps with a big suitcase and her dress. Cinderella helped her carry all her stuff in, and then Cinderella dragged Maria to a room that had been locked ever since her father married Florinda. Cinderella then told Maria to wait there, and she ran up into the attic and grabbed a key she had hidden under one of the floorboards. Once she had it, she ran back downstairs and for the first time in forever opened the door. It was Cinderella's mom's favorite room ever. It was where she kept all of her special things, and not even Florinda could get into it. Together, Maria and Cinderella began to get ready. Cinderella helped Maria do her hair and makeup, and by the time they were finished, it was almost time to leave. Maria took out her dress off the bag and put it on. It was a really beautiful pink dress. Cinderella got her dress from upstairs only to see that it was ruined. She broke into tears, ruining her makeup as well. Maria was very angry when she saw the ruined dress. She left Cinderella's house and promised to be back with a new dress. Just as Maria was leaving, Florinda, Anna, and Guadalupe were just arriving back home. "Oh, Cinderella, it looks like you can't go to the prom after all," Anna laughed. "She didn't even have a date," Guadalupe added. Guadalupe felt so happy that Cinderella's dress was ruined, and finally she could get her chance to meet Enrique and try to be his girlfriend. Together, Florinda, Guadalupe, and Anna left to go to the prom, leaving Cinderella all alone and even more heartbroken. After they had left, Cinderella went upstairs and washed her makeup off. There was no point going to the prom now. She didn't have a date. Just as she was about to put her pajamas on, Maria burst through the door, holding the most beautiful dress. It was blue and it was covered in gems that sparkled whenever they hit the light. Maria Maria dragged Cinderella back downstairs, unlocking her mother's room and forcing Cindy to sit down. "You are going to come to the prom with me and you can't complain." Maria redid Cinderella's hair and makeup and then left her alone to put the dress on. Cinderella didn't waste any more time and quickly got dressed. She then walked out of the room and locked the door behind her. Maria and Cinderella made it to the prom on time. Maria put her mask on since the prom was a masquerade ball, and she went to find her date. She left Cinderella with a beautiful mask. Cinderella stopped at the stairs and saw that everyone was looking at her. She quickly walked in and joined the party. Somewhere else, Enrique was with his friends, but he was looking for Cinderella everywhere, but he couldn't find her anywhere. Ada and Guadalupe kept annoying him, but all he could do was search for Cinderella. He saw a beautiful girl at the top of the stairs, but he didn't know who she was. But he decided to find her and introduce himself in case it was Cinderella. He quickly walked towards her, but she got lost in the crowd and he couldn't see her. He was disappointed, but then as everyone began to dance with their dates, he saw her standing alone, about to walk off the dance floor. He ran up to catch her and spun her around. Cinderella looked up to see the guy that she had started dancing with her, and the moment she looked at his eyes behind the mask, she knew who it was, Enrique. She laughed and continued to dance with him, but the entire night until the clock struck 12, she had to leave. Her mask became loose around her head as she turned to leave and fell off, but she didn't stop running until she got home. She managed to get back before her stepmother and stepsisters. Enrique looked at the mask that had been dropped. He knew who it belonged to. It belonged to his Cinderella. After the prom, Cinderella was busy trying to get scholarships to different schools so that she could leave home, tired of living with her awful stepmother and stepsisters. Enrique didn't see Cinderella after the prom, and he had no idea why, but he knew he would see her at their graduation. He kept her mask with him so that he could give it back to her. The day of the graduation came and Cinderella graduated along with her awful stepsisters. Just as she was about to leave, she ran into Enrique, who congratulated her, but then did something unexpected. He pulled out the mask she had lost at the ball and placed it around her eyes. "I would know my princess anywhere." Cinderella was about to burst with happiness. Enrique looked into her eyes and kissed her. Then together they left graduation, ready for their adventure to college together, since they had gotten into the same college. The end.